There's a reason why Prince's story's never been told. He cultivated an air of mystery, and he did it in a pretty impressively consistent, domineering, and ironclad way. There have been plenty of books written about Prince, but none have really connected the dots of his life. How did we get from a teenage virtuoso genius who was the youngest artist signed by Warner Brothers and given complete creative control to a guy who died of a drug overdose in an elevator in Paisley Park, in essence, died in a box within a box that he built himself, especially the guy who, in much of the public's consciousness, didn't do drugs.
The medical examiner's report says Prince died from fentanyl toxicity, that it was self-administered, and his death was an accident. Fentanyl is an opioid pain medication. Doctors say it's 30 to 50 times more potent than heroin.
Look, there's a responsibility and obligation to me as a filmmaker, as a documentarian, to answer the question, well, how did that happen?
What the estate to me has always gotten backwards. This is not a film. Your takeaway ends up being, get this guy the out of here.
No, it's like, man, he struggled so much. He was so insecure, and he had so much trauma, and his unwillingness and his insecurity prevented him from being open about said trauma because he had to present himself as this perfect genius. And his inability to share his truth was one of the reasons why he suffered his addiction in silence. And you would argue that but for the way he was, other people in his position might have been more able to get help. And I think that's one of the tragedies about his story. But it's connected to who he always was. He created a mystery. He obfuscated the truth of who he was to become famous as an artist. And then we were complicit in how we absorbed said artist, and we loved it. But then you get trapped in that. You keep having to change, you keep having to evolve, but your true self is always hidden. When the true self is then laid bare, having died of an overdose, it's like, what do you do with that? That can't be hidden. That's stark. That's the truth.